Hi everybody, it's Jody from Everyday Nothings. I have to tell you a little funny that just happened. I dropped my oldest Jenna off for Lego Robotics Camp, held by our local park system is who hosts it, but it's held at one of the local elementary schools. Well, if you've been following for very long, you know that we homeschool our children. So I thought it was really funny when I dropped her off that I think it was really obvious which families go to school here and which ones don't, because most of the parents, I wasn't paying attention. I parked in a parking spot, got my kids out, walked them up to the door. Most of the families pulled up, the parent drop off, pulled them up, kids got out just like they were going to school, and then there were maybe 5 or 6 of us that actually parked and walked up in that. So I'm assuming a combination probably of homeschoolers, private schoolers, or maybe go to a school to a different district. But it was just really funny because I think it was pretty obvious that those parents, this was just routine, just get in the little parent drop-off line and go, just like normal. And the rest of us are like, taking the time to park our cars, walk up to the front. But yeah, it was just, I was amused, but funny things, things that are normal for some people aren't normal for others. And, but anyway, that was a little humorous thing from this morning. So that's all. I will check in later. I hope everyone is having a great day. Hi everybody, it is Jody from Everyday Nothings again. Just check. Here I am. Just dropped off my youngest. So earlier I dropped off my oldest, 8-year-old, at Lego Robotics Camp. Then I run up to Ohio and drop the youngest, the 3-year-old, off at my great grandma's house. My grandma and grandpa are going to watch her today. We have an appointment later that I cannot bring her to. But yes, I had to drive over. And I was thinking this morning as I was getting ready, one of the thoughts that came to my mind is, I had no idea when I became a stay-at-home mom that I would spend so much of my time driving. You don't think, at least I didn't, that when you stay home, that you will actually spend a really large amount of time on the road. But you do. And so this is a day that we are going to be driving around all day. I'm going to be gone most of the day, putting a lot of miles on the car, using a lot of gas, and yeah, it's just one of those kind of crazy days. And yeah, so I had to drop off Jenna at 9:30 at the local elementary school for her Lego Robotics Camp, and then drive up to Ohio. We live in Kentucky, but drove up to Ohio, which is where I'm from and where my parents live. And my parents agreed to watch Jill to help us out because she cannot go to an appointment. It's just one of those things that she cannot go to. Then I have to drive back down to Kentucky I'm stopping at Kroger, Click List. There were some things that I absolutely needed, but I have 0 time today to go grocery shopping. So thank the Lord for Kroger Click List. Put in my order last night. I'm going to go pick that up, take that home, drop it off. And then the plan was that Jason was going to meet me at the house. We would go pick up Jenna and then head up to the hospital. But he called me a little bit ago. I think you guys know, maybe not. We own our own business. We run a family business, pressurewashcincinnati.com. And 2 guys called in sick today. So he was supposed to be in the office this morning, running a safety meeting, and I think he was going to help the guys get started on a pretty big job they've got today. And then he was going to meet me back at home so we could go to the hospital. Well, now he actually has to go out and work and do some of the pressure washing. And that's just one of those things when you run a small business. When we started out, he did do the pressure washing. Still does occasionally, like days like today. But when you run a small business, that's your job. You got to fill in when people are out. And so 2 guys called in sick, and so he now has to go out into the field and do some cleaning. So he's hoping to be able to meet me at the hospital, hopefully. we'll see. So anyway, and then after the hospital, they told us to allow at least 2 hours. That's pretty most of our afternoon. And then we'll have to pick up Jillian and then go home. So it's going to be a day of running around and driving and craziness. But that's life. It happens, right? And then I kind of felt bad. Of course, it's one of those days where everything falls on the same day. My mom got a phone call last week. One of her cousins passed away, and the funeral's today. Of course, I couldn't change the appointment. We've actually waited over a year for this appointment, so it's not getting changed. And so Jillian got to get all dressed up and is going to go to a funeral with them. So fun times. But anyway, I was telling about Jenna's camp earlier. So she is where I'm so blessed that we can do these camps. When I was growing up, my family couldn't afford these summer camps and things. So I just feel so blessed that we can send Jenna to these camps when she wants to go. It's really neat. The first, she's doing Lego robotics camp in the mornings. The afternoons are Minecraft camp. Of course, then she has to miss today because of the doctor at the hospital appointment. And then next, she's like in a few days, she'll do engineering camp for a couple days. And we're really excited about that. Since she was little, I have said she could be an engineer. She's just always wanted to figure things out and see how things move and see how things work. I still remember the very first time she rode a carousel, merry-go-round. You know, most kids looking around, giggling, or looking at their mom who's standing next to them. Not my kid. My kid's looking up and watching the gears and the mechanisms as they go around, and you could just see her little brain like trying to figure out how's that working, what's that doing. And she's just always been like that. She's really good at math, but is showing a lot of skill in science related fields. Math, she's really good. You know, we homeschool. I was telling my brother, who is an engineer, I was telling him the other day, we do math. One thing that I do with her is when she takes a test, if she gets an A, we will skip to the next test, and there are the curriculum we use. There are approximately 5 lessons in between tests. So I'll let her skip those 5 lessons and test again, and we'll test until she gets a B. I think that's reasonable. We're not just passing, like she's getting A's. And so she'll test. Well, here recently she took 5 tests in a row. That means she skipped 20 lessons. And most of the next tests she could do, but there are some things that is brand new information that she's never learned. But I was telling my brother, what amazes me about her and the ways that she can go through and skip these lessons is that she can take intuitive leaps in her mathematics. I know it's still young in elementary mathematics and that, but if you teach her a concept, like the basic concept when you first teach it, she has the ability to make those intuitive leaps to apply it to harder things. So that's how she's able to do this. And so she did. She's taken 5 math tests in a row. That means she skipped 20 math lessons. Still got an A on her last test. But we're going to do lessons again because there's really just absolutely brand new stuff she's never ever done before. And when I teach her math, most items I go over it once and she's got it like that. We've had lessons take less than 5 minutes before and she's done. And she has it. It's not that, you know, I think sometimes I say that people think I'm being lazy and she can't really be grasping it that quickly, but she does. She just has a propensity for mathematics. And so I would be kind of surprised if she doesn't go into some sort of science or math related field. I've said for a long time I think she'll be a doctor. I used to joke she was going to be an orthopedic surgeon. She was fascinated with the human body at a very young age. Like 18 months to 2 years old. She would ask me, what's under our skin? And so we learned anatomy at a young age. And then at some point she got obsessed with bones. And that was one of our first science things we did at homeschooling is we learned the bones of the body and the skeletal system. She was just really fascinated with bones. She'll find when she's got in her room bones that we found like on our property. We live in a rural area. Dogs will bring us like sometimes there's a deer skull in there. I think she's got teeth somewhere, but she just loves bones and always has. So I kind of joke she'd be an orthopedist or just me, and that's just now, and that these kids are young, and that can change really quickly. And quite frankly, as long as they're happy, I'm happy, right? So anyway, that was kind of a long rambling about. So the camps. I'm so excited and I'm so thankful that we are blessed enough to be able to send her to these camps. They're fairly affordable. They're run through our local parks department, held at one of the local elementary schools, so they're pretty affordable. I'm just really glad. When I was growing up, we started going to church camp when I was 10. And that was a stretch for my parents. And let me tell you, it was not an expensive church camp. Man, these camps I go to now, it seems like most churches now go to these big, elaborate camps with all this fancy stuff. It costs hundreds of dollars. But that was not the camp I went to. We stayed in cabins that the walls were literally plywood. It was run down. It was old. And it was amazing. I had the best time there. And I actually accepted Christ as my Savior when I was at church camp. I grew so much during those weeks, made lifelong friends. Not that can't happen at fancy camps, but it doesn't have to be fancy, I guess is what I'm saying. Because I feel like now people think it's got to have all this flair and all this extra stuff, and it's got to be top notch, and it's got to be, it doesn't. This simple things not only do just fine, sometimes they're better. But anyway, that was the only camp that my parents just put a priority on the base, and so that was the only one, and that was a stretch for them to be able to afford to send their kids to. And when Jenna gets older, she'll absolutely plan on sending her to a church camp. But at this age, I'm just thankful we can do that. She's actually going to, she plays soccer. She's one of the top goalies in her age group in our area, and next week she will go to a goalkeepers camp for soccer. We found one that was goalkeepers, and so I'm excited to see that and see how she does. Currently the league that she is, quite frankly, it's just not a challenge for her. So she's had every game she was goalie in for the spring season was a shutout. And then in the winter we did indoor soccer in a select league, and over half of them were shutouts. So even those are a little more challenging, but she's still just nailing it, quite frankly. So I'm excited for her to be able to grow and get better. I don't ever want to push my child, but I also don't like when they're stagnant, when they're just not learning and not progressing, and that's kind of what's happened with her. She's kind of so far ahead of the curve of her age group and in her league that she's really not grown a lot lately. So I'm excited for her to get this camp and to be able to continue to progress in what she does. And Jillian is already excited and already talking